All right. The Overland vehicle is my Overland rig. War Pig is her name. About as ready as she's going to be for this next round of 2 months of overlanding in Prince of Wales, Alaska. I'm going to get right to the camper. It's the 1981 Perris Valley. I just redid the inside. Took her down to all the way down to the frame. Patched it from the inside out, and then on the outside as well. Redid the insulation. Hung the paneling. Painted the walls. Threw up this reflective bubble wrap insulation stuff over the windows because it gets really bright here in Alaska. The sun comes up at 2:30 in the morning where I'm going. And that ain't cool. It's just too bright. Plus it gets way freaking hot. So it's nice having that stuff to reflect it. We'll see how it works. So we'll just get right into the camper here. Got these steps off Amazon for a couple $100. Bolted it right to the tailgate. Still a bit of a mess in here, but I'm leaving in a few days, so we're gonna call it done. This table was originally like a half moon table and is used for the bottom part of the bed. You just pull this off. Pretty standard mounting mechanism that comes with all these campers. So this top pops off, fits right here on the lips. This stays right where it is. Battery bank is a little messy down there. Still gotta clean it up, but I have two 6-volt golf cart batteries running in series, I believe, to make it 12 volt. I think series is what you call it. And the windows are nothing special. Just old ass windows. I don't know what. By the time I rip this thing down, it'll look like this may be like a third or fourth rebuild of this thing. Redid the electrical because none of the lights worked, and now that's the only light that's hardwired. These are all battery operated LED. Same as this guy. This one's rechargeable. How I'm going to camp is I typically like sleeping down here because it's cooler, there's more space, more headroom than there is up in the cab over. Plus the cab over just gets really hot. I think it'll be better with this insulation, and all this stuff is just velcroed on, so I can take it off for air if I want, but we'll leave the cab over on for the most part. Made this little insulation cap. This is the insulation that I used in the walls as well, and there's a reflective, kind of heat reflective siding on the other side that looks kind of like this to bounce that sun back. Got a little 12 volt cigarette lighter here. I just keep my USB ports in. Last year when I was bombing around the back roads of Prince of Wales, all these cupboards would fly open and shit would fly everywhere, so I just installed these little locking here, locking mechanisms. And all of this was open, so I made some partitions in my cupboards. So I got 3 cabinet spaces. This is the old lighting, might be original. I finally fixed this. There's a light bulb on this side that turns on when you plug it into the 120 volt house outlet. This is just a regular old, I got an LED 12 volt light in there. Picked up on Amazon. A little 2-burner stove. Got shit everywhere, gotta clean it, but it runs off of a 3-pound tank I got on the outside. This is a 10-gallon sink. It's a hand pump. I don't really use it too much besides washing dishes. It doesn't have a gray water tank. It just flows right out the back, so I can cap it or not. So I just use it for like washing dishes or my hands or whatever. Tank is right in here. And we're keep some extra cleaning supplies. My tactical fanny pack. Keeps my hunting license, fishing license, extra ammo, and a little tackle box. This was a really shitty cooler that would not hold a bag of ice for 12 hours even. So I gutted it, took out the cooler, kept the door, and I reinforced the door because the mounting mechanism was completely different once the innards were out. Remounted this and the latching mechanism here so that it closes. There was a Suburban furnace there, but it didn't work. Like $400 or $500 to replace and get up here in Alaska, so I just took it out. It doesn't really matter too much. This thing stays cooking in the summertime, and I haven't really taken it out winter camping, but now that it's all redid, I think I might. Added a latch here. Reinforced this cabinet because it was just kind of free floating and shit would fly everywhere. I got my little spice rack. This would always fall off too, because I've had this camper for a couple of years, and this is my first time redoing it was this year, because I had some water damage. So now this is super solid. Remounted the paper towel here, because it was over there. Remounted the coat rack, so it's nice and solid. And yeah, I have all the footage of the process, but I'm going to be leaving in a few days, so I'm not going to have enough time to edit everything, and besides, I don't have internet besides what's on my phone, so I'll have to get that to you in a couple of months when I come back. But I just wanted to get this video out so you can kind of see what I'm going to be living in for a couple of months this summer. Yeah, this will be my second summer living out of this thing in Prince of Wales and the Logging Roads. First summer I did it in the back of my Chevy over there, and I just had a little camper cap on it. That thing worked great. Had so much fun, decided to upgrade. And the truck is a 2001 GMC 3500. Then there'll be 7 duramax in it, dually, crew cab, long bed. Makes the camper look really small. Spent the past year making upgrades on this as well. I had a brake line blowout when I got back to Juneau last year. I'm so glad it didn't bust on the mountains, but I replaced all the hard lines with stainless steel lines made by Dorman. I got a video on my page. You can check it out if you want to see that. I got links and stuff to it. Put a nice AC Delco fuel filter in it. AC Delco front to back, pads, rotors, and calipers. Got the KO2s, 235, 85 R16s all the way around, and they do not rub, even with the camper on it. Camera picks it up, but you got about a ½ inch on it. Upgraded the stock exhaust to 4-inch MBRP with the muffler. Sounds really good. Flows really nice. Got a lot of get up and go. Also, put a fast lift pump on it. Put the cap filters on. This is the 95 gallon per hour flow rate. Works great. If you don't have one and you have a Duramax, you should definitely upgrade to one. You will not regret it at all. The rest of the exhaust, bought it on Amazon for like $260. Came with everything you needed. It's pretty easy to bolt up. I think I'm just going to roll with the seats down. Put a dog bed back here or something. Put these little JBL speakers in here just for extra sound. I took out the subwoofer for space, and I don't I don't have a smaller replacement yet, but I'm thinking about in the future putting a smaller one under the seat. But in the meantime, I got JBLs. I think I got both these are JBLs. I believe those are JBLs. And then in the front doors, I have these same ones. The cab, running my fan. Got a 500 watt power inverter hardwired into the battery. This thing is pretty awesome. Charges everything that I need. I got a 2,000 watt in the camper in that battery bay, but it's a little overpowered for what I need it for. Just when it's idling, it tends to drain the battery. So this one is fine for what I do. You don't need to have it on to run the USB, which is how the fan's running right now. But you can go through and it'll tell you different readouts. I've ran power drills and saws through this thing and small heaters, and it worked just fine. You can also, instead of wiring it directly to the battery, it comes with a connection to plug it directly into one of these cigarette lighters, 12 volters, and you can run 150 watts instead of 500 watts. And that works out pretty good for charging. Old deck that I pulled out of my other truck, old Pioneer. Other than that, didn't do anything too special besides put those little shades on. Under the hood, I put the AFE Stage 2 cooled air intake. This thing's awesome. Sounds really good. Flows really good. I got other videos on all of this stuff too if you want to take a more in-depth look at it and hear it. I also put the PPE valve on the wastegate. I got a video on this as well. Essentially, it raises the PSI threshold about 31 PSI and will keep the wastegate closed longer so you can use that power. Put a turbo horn on here as well. It's a full 3-inch. I got an install video on there you can check out. Sounds a lot better. You can actually hear it. And did the hydro boost because I had a leak, busted a seal, and then while I was at it, changed the master cylinder. Got a video on that too. Just threw some fresh paint on there. But that is my overlanding rig in a nutshell. Like I said, when I get back after this summer, I'll hit the old editing room and show you the build from the inside. And I just got this new phone and new data plan and everything, so I'm going to try to pump out some videos like this as I go, so I can show you some cool overlanding in Alaska, how we do. Give you a look around. We'll do something with this guy later too. Put this Chevy 350 in there and torqued it out about 10 years ago. I'm thinking, what do you guys think? I think I might do some videos and rip the 350 back out of it. Do a full rebuild. Port and polish the heads and put a new cam in it. And then if that goes well, I'm going to try to do the same thing with the Duramax. We'll see. Test my skills. One thing, I'm sure you guys will notice that I don't have that which everyone else has and I really want. It's one of those exhaust fans. So it gets a little hot in here. But my buddy did give me this outdoor light. It's magnetic. It's 360 degrees. Has an auto setting on and off. So if there's anything walking around at night, so light it up. But Summertime it's pretty light here, so I can't imagine it'll get much use. But I'm pretty happy to have it just the same. So, my hunting, camping rig, overlanding rig. We do a lot of 4x4ing. I know some of you are probably wondering why I have such a small camper on such a big truck. Lots of reasons. One, I originally had this on my Chevy. This camper was made for like an S10, so the Chevy handled it great where I go. And I'm slowly upgrading, but one thing I realized about having a big truck and a small camper is that it's significantly easier to climb mountains and get through trails with a 800-pound unloaded camper. And probably I'm guessing the truck gets loaded up to about 1,500 to 2,000 pounds with people, dogs, and gear when I got it fully loaded, but probably closer to 1,500 when it's just myself, my dogs, my gear. Probably less than that, because I got my guns and ammo and food and cooking utensils and shit. Maybe 13, I don't know. Either way, the truck handles it very nicely. It doesn't seem to care at all, especially having that big old diesel with all the nice fun parts on it. It just chugs along at 1,400 RPMs all freaking day. So you'll get to see some of that here in a bit. Upgraded my living situation, so now I can really start working on stuff in the wintertime now that I got a garage. Anyways, this video is starting the trail on, so I'm going to leave you with this shot of McGinnis Mountain in the back, if you can see it. There it is. Oh, McGinnis. That's where I live. It's my view. Anyways, hope to see you on the next one. Also, before I do, if you want to see any of the installations on any of those parts, go ahead and peruse my channel. I got links to everything, and I kind of walk you through the process, trials, tribulations, tools to use. Pretty quick, straightforward, no bullshit. Just get her done. That's what it's all about, right? We're just here to have some fun, learn some things from each other. I know I've learned a lot from you guys, from watching your guys' YouTube channels. So, here's me giving back. Until next time.